In this tutorial, I'll show you how to create realistic CGI in Blender by making objects fall from the sky into real-world footage and interact with other objects in the scene. By the end of this video, you'll know how to track footage, add 3D objects, simulate physics, and export your final video properly. Let's get started. Screencast keys has been turned on at the bottom left of the screen to help you follow along. Click on the plus sign at the top. VFX, Motion Tracking. This opens our motion tracking workspace. Click on Open to import your footage. Next, click on Set Scene Frames to set the number of frames to that of the video. Click on Prefetch to load the video into your scene. Next, select Detect Features. What this does is, it selects high contrast areas of your video and adds tracking markers on the video to help with the tracking. Reduce the threshold down to select more areas. Now click on this button to track forward. Click Detect Features again and track backward. The reason for this is because certain areas in the video are out of view at different times, so we have to perform Detect Feature on those hidden areas at different points in the video. Let's move our play head in the middle and detect features. Track backwards. Bring it back to the middle and track forward. Let's expand this area. These wavy lines you see here were created by the tracking markers. A good track creates a straight line from left to right. Zigzag lines means bad tracking. We would have to delete those lines. First, let's disable these inactive trackers in red. Press Alt-D to disable them. Now let's delete those lines. I will speed up this process. Note, when camera tracking, avoid using videos that has reflecting surfaces, a lot of moving objects, video with a lot of motion blur. Let's scan through and see if we have some tracking markers on moving objects and delete them. Next, let's go to Solve, and click Solve Camera Motion. We have a solve error of 0.48, which is good. Basically anything 0.5 or below is great. If you have a solve error value higher than this, click on Cleanup and select Clean Tracks and increase the value to select few tracks that are unstable, then hit X on the keyboard and delete. After that, click Solve Error again. Since ours here is below 0.5, we will leave it as it is. Now click on Setup Tracking Scene. This opens a window at the top right corner with a cube and a plane. The position of the cube and plane is off. Let's fix this. Select 3 of the tracker on the floor and select Floor to tell Blender which area is our floor. Select one of the tracker to set our origin. Let's fix the scale. Select 2 of the point and click Set Scale. You can also adjust the scaling here at the distance section, then click back on Set Scale. Let's position our cube well so it sits on the plane. As you can see, our cube and plane is tracked to the scene. Let's switch to layout. Select the camera and increase the opacity. Let's switch to cycles and set film to transparent. Let's add an HDRI to light up our scene. Let's delete our cube and straighten our plane. Let's bring in our 3D model. We will be using rigid body physics to make the boxes fall from the sky. Select the box and head to the Physics Properties panel. For shape, select Box. Select the plane and give it a rigid body property of passive. Duplicate the boxes and randomize their location and rotations. There are other ways of doing this. I will be using this approach. I will speed up this process. It's more of adjusting rotation and location of the boxes to your preference. Forgot to mention we need to give some bounciness to the physics properties for the boxes and the ground plane. This helps give our boxes a bit of bounce when they fall. Let's test it out. Now let's duplicate and randomize the boxes. We'll speed up this part. Let's add the car to our scene. You can get free car 3D models online, or use any 3D model of your choice. Let's give the car a rigid body property of passive so the boxes can interact with it. We want the back of this track to also interact with the boxes. Let's add a cube and position it there and give it a rigid body property of passive and make it a shadow catcher. For some reason our plane isn't acting as a shadow catcher. Let's delete and add a new one. Works now. Let's give our cube a rigid body property. Let's adjust the position of some of the boxes to fall on the back of the truck. Let's turn down the strength of our HDRI. Looks good. Let's step up our render settings to render our video. Let's bake our rigid body. Select the location you want to save out your file. In this tutorial, we will be rendering out in PNG sequence. You can choose to render it as a video file. I'd be going with PNG sequence for this video. One last step before we render our animation. Click on Compositing. Connect image to composite, and image to viewer. Now proceed to render the animation. When rendering completes, this is how our files will appear. Our rendering is done now. Now we can send this PNG sequence into any video editing software. I will be using After Effects for this. Let's import our raw video footage. Just doing some basic video editing here based on my preference. Let's export our final video. If you found this video helpful, kindly like the video, share and subscribe. You can also check out my other CGI tutorial on the channel. Link in the comments section.